Okay, this video is extremely important. I'm going to prove definitively that the West is wrong, that Israel's wrong, that all the nations of the world are wrong. They're all being dominated by people who think like Western conservatives, right? Freemasons, white supremacists, Jewish supremacists, and LGBT supremacists. Bear with me, you'll see that I'm right. So I have 3 quick points for you. And this is part 1. Number 1, if every restaurant was McDonald's or 2 other fast food restaurants, right here in California, it might be Jack in the Box or Burger King. They're basically like McDonald's. Would that be a good thing? No. If people said, well, we just like it that way, would that be smart? No. Regardless of the race of that people, that would be stupid. Why? Because you need more variation, right? You need it to be more fair than that, more nutritious. Now, if someone said, well, you don't know it's bad for you, and we have all these studies, right? You would know they're full of shit right away. So point number 1 is spreading white supremacy, Jewish supremacy, and LGBT supremacy is worse than spreading McDonald's, Jack in the Box, and Burger King and making it so that those are the only restaurants around, regardless of what language they speak, how the building is modeled, what have you. Point number 2, is someone better off being a slave master or fixing themselves? A slave master is like a serial killer. They're fucked in the head. They don't know what they're doing in life. They're some kind of fixated, obsessive, compulsive disorder dogs. Life is much more fulfilling if you're not like that. For example, compare a Freemason who's a control freak to a righteous, monotheistic martial artist, something that you probably can't picture, and they covertly edit my pictures and videos, even the sound of my voice, to confuse you. But just hearing the ideas, I'm sure you understand that, hey, who wants to be like a teacher, like boarding school, like politician, like Worm? There's a control freak saying, that's not how it's done. Respect the craft. Like way out of their minds. Acting like a geeky, frat, hazing guy, acting goofy at times, when they could be a very serious, divine, grace-filled, heavenly, pure heterosexual hero. In truth, no corniness. Pretty straightforward. Point number 3. If people were to spread child molestation around the world, and they were to say, hey, it's our right of conquest, it's just how we like it. Well, that's not your call. Would that be smart? Would that be respectable? Would they have families worth being a part of? Would they have a culture worth being a part of? No, you say fix yourself. Stop forcing that on people and fix yourself. And the least you could do is leave America, leave the countries that you've colonized. Leave your proxy countries and stop trying to rule them through proxy and go back to Europe, go back to wherever you came from and just do it there. That's the least you could do. And so really quickly, we can see why the West is wrong, why Europe is wrong, why Israel is wrong, and why all the nations who are basically like token minority nations, all the other nations, they're ruled by proxy. We can see that why they're wrong as well. I firmly believe that America is a greater evil than Iran, but I firmly believe Iran is evil as well. Every nation is governed by governments and not by God, and those governments are secular governments. They're evil governments. Even nations that might think of themselves as somewhat of a theocracy, they're all secular, evil, Masonic modeled nations. Now, when you consider the right-left paradigm, right, the Democratic Party here in America is also dominated by these conservative thinking types. They want to maintain the social order, which is the essence of conservatism, and obviously that is pure evil. If you don't understand that the social orders in the world are evil, then you are crazy. If you think it's okay for them to get together and cause 9 million people to starve to death every year, 3 million of them children, while pointing the finger at each other, name one government on this planet that you think it's decent. And obviously, if they're propounding the Western model, they're evil. It's a good cop, bad cop paradigm. You might think, well, maybe in Sweden or Norway, they're not so harmful or something. Or maybe some more peaceful country in Africa. But they're all propounding the Western Masonic governing model. And that model is inherently evil.